Hello there, guys. This is Darren, and we're back with another episode of Shadow Word Play. This is part 8, where we will be doing the Eastern Plaguelands. Last week, we went from 35 to 40 in the Western Plaguelands. The Eastern Plaguelands, you only go from 40 to 44. If you check on the map, it does say that this zone is from 40 to 44. That was the first rare that I saw in this area, and I found it immediately. Right off the bat, less than a minute into questing in this zone, I found the first rare spawn, so I thought that was really cool, because usually you have to really go run around a lot before you find them. But the first 2 levels in this zone were impossibly long, and there were certain places while I was questing in this zone where I literally wanted to never play this character again. I died for the first time between 40 and 44. I was in a place where there was a lot of shadow casters and those giant abomination things, the creatures. They're all over Undercity. Anyway, there was a lot of those guys around, and they, for some reason, everyone in that entire area attacked me all at once. But the last couple levels in this episode were the last 2 levels from 42 to 44 was incredibly fast. You'll notice in this video, it takes me about 4 minutes of this video to actually get to level 41, because these quests, they take forever. And they're so spread out. You gotta do so much traveling. You have to ride on a chariot. I think this woman, Fiona, I believe, I don't know. You have to ride on her chariot, and she takes you to the next quest hub, I guess. And even that ride is like 5 minutes long, and you read this whole stupid conversation the whole time you're going there. It's not pleasant. It's a very unpleasant experience. The next time I level a character and I'm questing around level 40, I will never come back to this place again. I absolutely hated the Eastern Plaguelands, and I don't hate questing areas very much. There's only 2 questing areas in this entire game that I absolutely hate, and I found this out not very long ago. One of them is the Eastern Plaguelands. The other is Hellfire Peninsula. I have always hated the Hellfire Peninsula. Ever since Burning Crusade first came out, because, as a lot of you either guessed or probably knew, I have, in fact, been playing Warcraft since day 1. I've taken breaks in between, obviously, but, for the most part, I have played World of Warcraft since the day it came out. And, to be honest, I finally am gathering 85s, I guess. Because I was always a big low-level guy. Out of all of my friends, there was the 3 of us, the 3 main friends that played... Sorry, there was 4 of us. 4 main friends that played World of Warcraft together. We had Frag Fest all the time. We all had something that we were really good at. 1 or 2 things that we absolutely excelled at. My friend, his name's Oliver, he absolutely excelled to the max at getting money, like farming money, farming materials, stuff like that. And my friend, his name's Matt, he was always the best at dueling. Nobody could beat him in a duel. It didn't matter. People were 5 levels higher than him. For some reason, nobody could ever beat him in a duel. Then there was me. I have the two specialties, I guess, of mine is leveling and healing. Whether it be Battleground healing. Now I'm getting good at Battleground healing, but instance healing. I made a lot of friends on this game, actually, because they said that I was an incredibly good healer. And I know that, I guess that makes me sound like I have a bit of an ego. But, no, I've just been told for years that I was always an incredibly good healer, in the sense that I'm very attentive. And I never liked it when the healers in your groups let the tank get to, like, a quarter health before they even started healing him. I never got that because then you have to spam heal him back to full health, and you end up wasting all of your mana when you could use your little spells right off the bat. Like if you're on a priest, you use your bubble and renew, and for the majority of that fight, that guy's not going to die. He's going to be just fine. But all the other healers, they always waited until he was almost dead, and then it was like a toss-up gamble. If the mob you were fighting at that point happened to crit against you, you were screwed. Now, this questing zone kind of confused me, actually, at first, because it's been so long since I've done this place that I knew what to do here, where you have to destroy those things, but these, I didn't know how far into these actual, what are these, ziggurats? Yeah, ziggurats. I didn't know how far into them you actually had to go, so I kept going in the doorway and trying to complete the quest, and it would say, it requires this, and I'd be like, okay, there's an item I need to get, but because I wasn't reading it, it was just a total fail on my part. I decided to just, I was always so serious when it came to the show. I'm gonna be more laid back. I'm just gonna relax. So we're almost level 42 now, and we are on the second questing zone. I like this quest. He hands the quest in, says he's gonna give you a test of might, and then very quickly these three rogues burst out at you and just start killing you. And I really love this underwater quest. This quest is really fun because it requires no skill. It's just a collecting quest, but you never run out of air, and you get to kill these fish. And there's a lot of experience in it, and it's just a whole lot of fun. Like I said, there's a few zones in this area, or sorry, other way around. There's a couple areas in this zone that are incredibly fun, and if I could do them all the time, I would, because they are some of my favorite questing areas. But for the most part, my god, the Eastern Plaguelands was just such a bad experience for me. And for you, there's a very good chance that it was 100% different. There's a very good chance some of you guys, loved the Eastern Plaguelands. Or if you did it, would love the Eastern Plaguelands. Me, personally, had a terrible time. I still have to say, the Ghostlands, I suppose, might be my favorite questing zone. I adore I've always loved the Ghostlands. Any Horde character I make, if I'm not filming it, obviously, just about any Horde character I've ever made, I take them to the Ghostlands the second I hit level 12, because I adore the Ghostlands. It's great fun, super easy, amazing way to level incredibly quickly. And here I was looking around because I swore they took you to Light's Hope Chapel, but instead I ended up actually having to fly. I believe this is the last quest hub that I actually go to. There are other places around this zone where you do need to quest, but this is the last, stationary hub of quests. And my favorite part of the Eastern Plaguelands is coming up kind of soon. I think I just hit level 43 when I start to go in there. It's incredible fun, really quick. You go into this Scarlet Monastery type building, and they give you 4 quests there, and it's just when it comes up, I'll talk about it some more. I don't mind these quests. I hate quests like this where there are guys that follow you around and apparently help you kill things. I don't know why. I've just always really disliked having things run around with you, especially some of the other quests, like the one in the Western Plaguelands, where you have to keep them alive and you've got to protect them, and there's 4 of them, and they just follow you around endlessly, and it's just a really it's not a bad time. It's just you end up getting preoccupied with the other things that I guess are in your questing group. And you will notice with this episode that the appearance of my game changed. I actually turned off. I turned off the floating combat text and turned on an add-on that I have called Parrot. And this add-on, over your shoulder, the damage will come down, and I like the look of it. But I turned on floating combat text again for Chapter 9. And I also got an add-on called Tidy Plates that I like very much. It shows numbers and percents by your health bar, your mana bar. And it's just, in my opinion, is a really nice way. It's nice looking. And this is what I was talking about. See, I get 4 quests here where I have to go into this Scarlet Monastery-esque building. And you have to get items out of the rooms. There's bosses placed all over this building. You have to kill, I think it's 3 bosses, and then you have to gather 4 items. Now, the Shroud of something, I can hardly even read it, it's so small on my screen, and it's actually, it's been so long since I've actually done this. I did all these quests now, probably almost 2 weeks ago, so it's not really fresh in my mind anymore. I just edited all of the raw footage today, which was probably the worst editing experience of my life. My computer was crashing. It's a laptop. It had been on way too long. It was just being really, really glitchy, and it was just impossible to get a really good, strong edit done all at one time. But we got it done. We're here. Chapter 8. We are actually about a third of the way through our adventure here. I know, I've level 44 and we're only not even a third of the way through this adventure, and we're level 44. That just shows you how much experience it really takes to level after this point, because the starting areas, one quest, if you had to kill mobs for the quest, one quest would level you easily, and you get to level 20, it's more like 4 quests if you have to kill mobs, and then you get to level 30 and it's like 8 quests, and you get around here where it's like 25 quests it takes to get you up a level. It's just, it becomes extremely tedious, and I had like probably a good 3.5 hours worth of footage that I had to actually kind of go through to get this down to a 13-minute video, which was quite a chore itself. I really did not have a good time editing this one down. Anyway, we are hitting 44 right now, and after this, I will tell you, I am actually, this is perfectly caught up to where I am. Haven't played my priest in quite a while. Anyway, comment, like, subscribe. I am Darren McDonald for Shadow Word Play, and I will see you all next week, and I hope that you guys had a